Hello children, today we shall start with a new topic, that is organic chemistry. So what is organic chemistry? It is that branch of chemistry that deals with organic compounds. And what are organic compounds? They are the compounds which contain carbon. Now, do any and every compound that contain carbon come under organic compounds? No, we have some exceptions here. And they are carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, all the types of carbonates and metal cyanide. So these come under inorganic chemistry. These compounds come under inorganic chemistry, and balance all carbon compounds come under organic chemistry or organic compounds. So all organic compounds consist primarily of carbons and hydrogens. Many of the compounds may also contain oxygen, maybe some other non-metal like nitrogen. Sometimes you have even phosphorus, halogens. Even a metal could be present in an organic compound. Most compounds are composed with carbon chains bonded with hydrogen. So basically, most of the carbon compounds, they are formed with chains or branches of carbon and hydrogen. So a hydrogen is an important part of a hydrocarbon. So carbon and hydrogen make up hydrocarbons, and we are going to study some types of hydrocarbons in this chapter. What is so unique about carbon that one entire branch of chemistry is dedicated to carbon? Carbon has three important properties. The first one is tetravalency. The second one is catenation. And we have one more property, that is isomerism. Because of these three properties, carbon is very unique. It has the capacity to form single bonds, double bonds and triple bonds. So between two carbon atoms, we can have single bonds, we can have double bonds, and we can have even triple bonds. We can have even 3 bonds between two carbon atoms. The other thing is they can form straight chains. They can form compounds that are made up of straight chains. So carbon attached to another carbon, and so on. Okay? And they can also have branch chains. So they can have even branch chains. And that is so unique about carbon. It's not available or it's not existing in any other element. And that is why carbon is such an important element. So here we can see exactly what I was trying to tell, that they can form chains, they can form branches. So hydrocarbons are divided into two types. One is an aliphatic hydrocarbon and the second one is an aromatic hydrocarbons. Here aroma is not related with any sense of smell. Aromatic hydrocarbons means they are close chain hydrocarbons, close chains. So where carbon is attached to another carbon and it forms a closed structure. So it could be a closed structure with 3 carbon atoms, it could be a closed structure with 4 carbon atoms or with 5, 6 or more carbon atoms. So if it is forming a closed structure, in that case it is called an aromatic hydrocarbon. And what's an aliphatic hydrocarbon? When they form straight chains. When carbon is linked with another carbon and it is not in a closed format, that time it is called as aliphatic hydrocarbons. The structures that you can see here on your screen are one of alkane, one of alkene and one of alkyne. Alkane, alkene and alkyne. Alkane, alkene and alkyne. The structure that we see down is a very important one, and that is of benzene. The structure that we see here is benzene. And why is benzene important? Only the structure of benzene is important from this year chemistry point of view. But next year you will have a whole lot of compounds that come under arenes, and benzene is one of them. So they are cyclic compounds. They are called cyclic compounds and they have formula CnHn. CnHn. We do not study this year, but this topic is there for you next year. And what do we note in the structure of benzene? There is an alternate double bond. So you have alternate single bonds and alternate double bonds in the structure of benzene, and benzene's formula is C6H6. The formula for benzene is C6H6. So you have 6 carbon atoms attached with 6 hydrogen atoms and an alternate double bond. This is your structure of benzene, which is C6H6. In this chapter, we are going to study alkenes and alkynes, and basically how you are going to name them. Okay, the next property of carbon atoms is it shows isomerism. Now, what is isomerism? Isomerism is that one chemical formula, one molecular formula, but it has different structures. Okay, so here what we see on our screen, the structures that we see on our screen, in the first structure it is a cis-2-butene, and the next structure is a trans-2-butene. So what is a cis structure? A cis structure has the methyl bonds, CH3 bonds, on the same side of the chain. So when you see, if you're calling this the top side and this is the lower side, so both are having it on the lower side. The carbons are attached to methyl group on the lower side. Whereas in the trans, we have them in the opposite side. So one is on the top and one is on the lower side. One is on the top side and one is on the lower side, the methyl group. So what is a methyl group? It's a CH3. A CH3 group is called as a methyl group. We have come across the structure of methane in our first and second chapters, in the structures that we have studied in bonding chapter. So methane is CH4. So when you remove one hydrogen from methane, we get CH3, and that's called a methyl. It's a methyl group. So here we see that the same chemical formula will be there for both of that. That is, we got C4. We have C4H8, but the way it is placed is different. So this property of carbon, which has one molecular formula but different structural formulas, is called as isomerism. So we see some more structural isomerisms here. The structure that we can see on our screen, one is named as butane and the other one is named as isobutane. One is a N-butane, normal butane, and one is as isobutane. If you check the formula, it is the same thing, that is C4H10 in both the cases. But where the carbon is branched, in the second case, it is called as a iso group. It is called as a iso group. So you're finding that you have a carbon in the center, which is branched on 3 sides, the carbon is branched on 3 sides. And that's why it is called as a iso group, where you're finding a single chain, single line. So it's a normal butane and isobutane. So we see some more examples using cyclic compounds here. So in this case we have ortho, meta and para. Ortho, meta and para. So this is the ortho position, that is next to the methyl group. A methyl group, if this is position 1, you have it over here, 1, 2. So that's why it is called as 1, 2. This is 1 and this is 2. So it's called as 1, 2 dimethyl. Okay, dimethyl benzene. This is 1, 3 dimethyl benzene or metaxylene. It is also called as metaxylene. And we have 1, 4 dimethyl. So this is the ortho position, this is the meta position, and this is the para position. Children, you need to note that such structures will not be given to you. This is there for you next year. But only what you need to understand from this particular slide is that with the same molecular formula, hydrocarbons show different structures. You need not know this naming and need not worry about this naming right now. But you need to know that there is something called as ortho, meta and para positions, and based on that the names of the hydrocarbons will come. So what is the classification that we have in organic compounds. We have alkenes, alkenes and alkynes. So in the aliphatic compound, that is the straight chain compound, we have alkenes, alkenes and alkynes. In the closed chain or in the cyclic compounds, we also have arenes. But children, you don't have to worry about these arenes right now. This is only for your knowledge. Benzene comes under arenes, as I already discussed with you. This is not there for your portion this year. So these are hydrocarbons, alkanes, alkenes and alkynes. These are hydrocarbons which contain carbon and hydrogen. Okay. Then while alkanes and alkenes might be open chain, okay, the closed chain compounds are called as cycloalkanes and cycloalkenes. So if you have an alkane which consists of a closed chain, so it is called as a cycloalkane. And if you have an alkene which consists of a closed chain, then they are called as cycloalkenes. What's important for us is this. All alkanes, how will you distinguish between what is an alkane, what is an alkene and what is an alkyne? Alkanes are those compounds or those hydrocarbons which consist of only single bonds. So when you see one carbon is linked with other carbon with a single bond, we are concerned only with carbon here. We are not talking of if there is any other oxygen or any other nitrogen present in the compound. If carbon is linked with other carbons of the compound with a single bond, such compounds are called as alkanes. If there are double bonds present between the carbons, then the compound is called as alkene, E-N-E. Okay, so that's the difference. Alkane is A-N-E, alkene is E-N-E. It means it is having a double bond. So alkane is a C-C bond. Alkene is C-C. What is this dash? That's the chemical bond. How do we show a chemical bond between two elements? With a single hyphen. So when you have two dashes or two hyphens in between, that is a double bond. And what are alkynes? Alkynes are connected, okay, in alkynes, carbons are connected with triple bonds, 1, 2 and 3 bonds between two carbon atoms. So this is called as an alkyne. So as we said, you can have carbon compounds with long structures, no? So you may have many carbons in this case, many carbons. It does not matter. So in that case, they are all alkanes. So here you can have many carbons attached, but if there is one single double bond in the whole compound, it is called as a alkene. You may even have two double bonds present in that. Then too, it is called as a alkene. Similarly with carbon with triple bonds. So it's not necessary only between two carbon. The carbon chain may be still longer. It can be still longer. It may be having even somewhere else one more triple bond. Does not matter. They are all alkynes. So triple bond is alkyne, double bond is alkene, and single bonded hydrocarbons are alkane. We need to know that we are just talking about the bond between the two carbon atoms of the compound. Next is how do we name these compounds? Now when we are talking of hydrocarbons, let them be alkanes, alkenes or alkynes, there is a specific naming system. If any compound contains only one single carbon atom, in that case it is called as a meth. Okay, so since methane consists of only one carbon, so the compound, okay, with all single bonds everywhere is a methane, CH4, and this structure we know very well. CH4 structure we know very well. Now if we are talking of a compound that contains two carbon atoms, so one carbon atom plus one more carbon atom. So this compound is called as a eth compound. So if it is shown here like this, as we can see, okay, it will have 6 hydrogens around it, 3 on either side. Okay, so this is a ethane. Since it is a single bonded compound, it's a ethane. But now if you want to convert it into a double bond, let us see how double bond or alkenes exist. If it is having 2 carbon atoms and it has a double bond in between, now we know carbon is tetravalent, means its valency is only 4. That means it can have only 4 such lines here. It can have only 4 such bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you want a double bond, then the only way of getting the double bond is by getting rid of it, by getting rid of one of the hydrogens. So you'll have to get rid of one of the hydrogens from here. Okay. So you can remove one hydrogen from here. Similarly, you'll have to remove one hydrogen from here. Okay. And now you can have a double bond. Now we can have a double bond present. So that is, it shows as carbon, double bonded carbon, one hydrogen here, one hydrogen here, one, H, here one hydrogen, here one hydrogen. So now we have carbon linked with another carbon atom with 2 bonds over here, that is a double bond in between 2 carbon atoms, and this is the structure of ethene, THENE. Similarly, if you want a triple bond, if we need a triple bond here, in that case we can have a triple bond here, but we have to get rid of this hydrogen atom from here and this hydrogen atom from here. So now carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds here, 1, 2, 3 and 4 bonds here, and that's what is tetravalency of carbon. So again, let's see how does the naming go. If it is having 1 carbon atom, it is named as a meth compound. If it has 2, it is a eth compound. If it is having 3, it is called as a prop compound, propane, propene, propyne. If it is having 4 carbon atoms, we call it bute compounds. Okay, it is prefixed with the bute, so it can be butane, butene or butine. Next comes 5, 6, 7 onwards. It is easy. It is as per their geometrical names, that is pent, hex, hept, oct, non and dec. So this is how the naming of the hydrocarbons go. Now let's see alkanes. So as I already discussed with you, alkane, the characteristic feature of an alkane is a single bond. Okay, so we have only single bonds between alkanes. The first structure that you can see on your screen here, this is that of methane. This is a methane. Okay, the next one here, it is ethane. It is ethane. And the last one we can see here, we have 4 carbon atoms. So it is not a propane, but this is going to be a butane. This is a structure of butane. So how do you write your structures? CH4 will be methane. C2H6 is ethane. Okay, propane would have had 3 carbon atoms and butane has 4 carbon atoms. So these are the structures. What is important is alkanes always follow one formula. Okay, they follow one formula, and that is CnH2n plus 2. You can just check it with the first structure. If N value is 1, as it is in methane. So what is CnH2n? 2 ones are 2 plus 2, 4. So that is CH4, and that's the structure of methane. If you put the same formula in the next structure, we have 2 carbon atoms. In the next one, we have 2 carbon atoms. So if you put the value of N as 2, we get C2H6. We get C2H6, and that is the formula for the ethane structure or ethane molecule. And what is it for butane? If you put the value of C as 4, we get C4H10. 4 2s are 8 plus 2, 10. So C4H10 is the formula for butane. So the alkanes are also prefixed with meth, eth, prop, bute, pent and so on. And that is why we have formulas methane CH4, ethane C2H6, propane C3H8 and butane as C4H10. So this is how your naming for the alkane family will go on. The first part will be what is given here, that is the prefix, that is meth, eth, prop, bute, whatever, depends upon the number of the carbon atoms present here. And then it follows with ane, A-N-E, ane. Okay, so this is how you are supposed to name the hydrocarbons which are alkanes. Next, we shall see alkenes. Alkenes have double bond. If you see it closely, they have double bond present between the two carbon atoms. So the first structure that we see here, that is a ethene. We can never have a methene, because to have two carbon atoms connected with a double bond, we need to have two carbon atoms. So therefore there is no methene. It directly starts with ethene. So when you have two carbons attached with a double bond, it is a ethene. When you have 3 carbon atom chain, and in that we have one double bond, even if we have one double bond, that is a propene. When we have 4 carbon atoms, we can get butene if there is a double bond present in that. Similarly, it's for pentene. There are 5 carbon atoms in this. There is a chain of 5 carbon atoms and one double bond is present. So that's a pentene. That's the structure of a pentene. So alkenes also are named similarly. The first name remains the same, like eth, prop, but and pent, but it will end in a ene. It will end in a ene. So how do you name alkenes? As I said, first of all, you cannot have any alkene with only one carbon atom. It will start with 2 carbon atoms. So it is ethene, that is C2H4. It is ethene, that is C2H4. Then we have propene, that is C3H6. And we have butene, that is C4H8. So if you note everywhere, we have a formula. You can give this with a formula, that is CnH2n. Cn and H2n. So how many number of carbon atoms you have? You have double the number of hydrogen atoms for alkenes. Okay, so it's shown here. Now we have the third type, that is the alkynes. Alkene, alkane and alkynes. So what is alkynes? Alkynes is any of the compounds where carbon is connected with another carbon using a triple bond, where there are 3 bonds between them. Okay, if there is a triple bond in at least one pair of carbon atoms, then we call that as a alkyne. Similarly, for the naming of alkyne, it will be named with, it will start with the ethyne, then we have propyne, butane and so on. So it ends in a YNE. It ends in a YNE for alkynes. Just as we cannot have one carbon atom and an alkene forming in that, so there's no methane. Similarly, there cannot be any methine, because we need at least one pair of carbon atoms in which we can have those 3 bonds. So the first one is ethyne, C2H2. So the first one is methine, C2H2. How will the structure look? C2. Okay, there's a triple bond between the 2 carbon atoms. So carbon can have only 4 bonds. That's one more bond one side, one more bond on this carbon atom side. And naturally we are talking of hydrocarbons, so we need to have hydrogen. So this is the structure. This is the structure of ethyne. How will you get a structure of propyne? Okay, so we just need to change one more. We need to add one more carbon atom and we get a structure of propyne. Let's see how we do that. So you have carbon attached with a triple bond. You have one more carbon, one more carbon. So this is a structure of propyne. Now let's complete the structure. Let's take the carbon on the right hand side. Now we have seen that it has one side bonded with one carbon atom, so naturally the other side it has to have hydrogen. But this carbon here has only 2 bonds as of now. So it has only 2 bonds as of now. So let's put 2 more bonds here. It is tetravalent, has to have 4 bonds. So this is the structure. Okay, now coming to this second carbon atom. It is already having 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds. So we don't need any more bonds here. And this is fine. But coming to this side carbon atom, the first carbon atom that we see, it has only 3 bonds. So that means we need to give it one more bond. So we draw one more line here and one hydrogen. So this is the structure of propyne. This is the structure of propyne. So how do you show? You just show one bond, one triple bond, and you just show the correct number of carbon atoms. So if it is a pentyne or hexyne, you need to show that many number of carbon atoms. Pentyne 5 carbon atoms, hexyne you'll have to show 6 carbon atoms. And the last part that we need to do here or see here, that is the functional groups. So what are the functional groups that we have? We have the following functional groups, that is alcohols. So how is alcohols written? Alcohols is written with the hydroxyl group. An OH group, when it is attached to a methyl group. Here, please note children, R denotes a methyl group. Methyl groups are denoted by R. It could be methyl, it could be ethyl. So we can generally take it as, we'll just take this as, instead of methyl, it should be a minimum methyl. It can be anything over a methyl. So let's call it as an alkyl group. An alkyl group is represented with R. So minimum starts with the methyl group, that is CH3 group. Okay. Phenols are those cyclic compounds that have a OH connected to it. Again, children, here we are not going to study about phenols in details this year. So you can, cyclic compounds, you can just leave that. Next it comes to ethers. Ethers have an alkyl group. They have an alkyl group on the either side. They have an alkyl group on the either side. Okay. Next, we have aldehydes. Now it is important to note aldehyde has one hydrogen on one side. It is connected with a carbon. Okay, it is connected with a carbon and it is connected with a alkyl group on the other side. Okay. Now in case of an aldehyde, it can even be a hydrogen. In this case, R can even be a hydrogen. Okay, in case of aldehydes, the first aldehyde that we have is formaldehyde and the formula is COH is formaldehyde. It starts with HCOH. Next, ketone. In case of ketone, it is necessary that both the R's that are shown here have to be alkyl groups. They have to be alkyl groups. In ketones, they have to be alkyl groups. Both the R's are shown here, they are alkyl groups. So minimum, the smallest ketone will start with 2 alkyl groups on either side and hence it is called as propanone. The smallest ketone is propanone. The next one is carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid is denoted with RCOOH, that is RCOOH, and they are called carboxylic acids. So which are the carboxylic acids we have? We have formic acid, acetic acid, and so on. And last comes to esters. Esters have the functional group RCOOR-, where both the R's here have to be alkyl groups. In this case, both the R's have to be alkyl groups. Okay children, in our next video, we will see various examples of hydrocarbons and how to name them. So in the next video, I will try and show you more examples of hydrocarbons and its naming. So I hope that the concept of alkenes, alkenes and alkynes is clear to you and also the functional groups. Thank you.